Barry.
Have you lifted a stone from your brother's way as he traveled along life's road? How many people think this is your mountain? Is this your mountain? Yeah. It might be someone else's mountain. Stop trying to take someone else's mountain. How many times do we focus so much on the mountain that we're climbing that we forget there's someone else that's climbing a mountain too? There's someone else who may have never climbed this mountain that I climbed. I want to talk a little bit this morning about how we help others climb their mountains. How do we help others break through the things that maybe we've already gone through, or maybe that we haven't gone through but we're able to help with? When is the right timing to do that, and how do we do that? What's the process of doing that? I'm not going to cover an in-depth discovery of how to coach someone through life, but I want to suggest to you that there are times that we need to turn away from our own journey and to help some others along the way. And what inspired me was I took my 15-year-old daughter Lydia up this 12,500 foot mountain. Now, some of you who've been here in Toastmasters for a while know that I love hiking Sentinel Point every year. It's a tradition of mine, and I will go alone or with people. I really don't care. But I've done this mountain probably 12 or 13 times, so I know it very well. Carol may remember that on the way down, when she came with me, I didn't know it as well as I do now, because we had to bushwhack down the backside of it. And I still have never found the trail, but I have figured out my own trail that's a lot easier than what you do. Sorry. Lydia is 15, and you know that 15-year-olds don't like to get up at 5:30 in the morning for a 6:44 meeting or for a sunrise hike. But she did it. She got up, she was determined. This was her last weekend before school, and we trudged on down the trail after we got to the parking area there. And this is the view before we get into the real ascent up the mountain. And I thought it was just magical that the sunlight was peeking through the trees. Beautiful morning. Couldn't ask for a more perfect day. Now, when we got to the boulder field, she kind of looked up there and started saying things like, "What just doesn't seem like it ever ends." And she was a little bit intrepid about walking on these rocks, some of which move, and some of which don't move, and some of which have deep cracks that you can look down and say, "Wow, I don't really want to fall down there. Wow, I wonder what kind of animal's in there." But she made it past there, and as you break through the tree line, then you see the top of Sentinel Point, and you know, you kind of feel like you're going to make it. And there she is. She made it.
Oh, she's smiling.
And the view
She's smiling.
is that, yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing? And then, can you imagine? So I thought I was the leader, and she was moving real fast to get back. Either because, A, she drank way too much water, or she was really hungry, or she just wanted to sit down in the car. But I have never had anyone beat me on the trail going back more than she did. But that is just an example of how we are here to help each other, right? And a lot of times it is our children, because it's kind of our job to coach our children and make sure that we're good leaders for our children and teach them lessons. But how about our friends? How about our family, our other family, our brothers and sisters. This is one of the reasons why we get married, isn't it? Because we feel like we can help each other. And that's a nice thing to be able to do that. My point here is people can do more than you think. So let them. People have given me great opportunities to try to do something that I've never done before. I was at a leadership conference and there were presidents of companies there with me, and a lot of very skilled and accomplished people. And yet they let me be the leader for the team to try and get 15 people over a 15-foot wall in the lowest time. And that was a great experience for me because I was able to not only organize and coach and figure out how we could do that, but they let me be the leader. The leaders let me be the leader. And of course, we beat all the top executives team and we had the lowest score. People can do more than you think. Well, how can we help others on these kinds of journeys? It's really very simple. Ask. The first step is just ask. We have to know what each other is going through. When I was divorced, I had a good friend who was really helping me through that struggle. And he checked in with me every day. He knew what I needed because he'd been through a few tough things himself. We have to be in touch with each other. We have to know what's going on with each other. And the only way to do that is to just ask, hey, what's going on with you? And then listen. And then listen. And I hate to tell this story, but I had dinner, my girlfriend and I had dinner with a couple that we're friends with, and we didn't get a word in edgewise because the other people were talking the entire time about themselves. Sometimes you just have to shut up and listen. And sometimes you have to realize that it's more important to be interested than interesting. That it's okay to just listen. And then the harder thing is, now that you know someone and you may have an idea of what their goals are, you have to act. And that is the hardest thing. What can I do to help my friend or my daughter or my spouse reach that goal? What can I do? In this circumstance, I did something a little sneaky because my daughter said, hey, I want to hike a 14er. I said, well, you know, I'm not sure you're really in shape yet. How about we do a smaller mountain before you go up a 14er? And that's why we did this. And I set up the opportunity for her to succeed because I knew that if I took her up a 14er, she was probably going to fail. That was not the mountain for her to do first. The mountain for her to do first was the one that she could get up. And you know what? Now, I know that she can do it. She knows that she can do it. And we'll go for a bigger one. That's an example of how we can help others. It may be that we simply encourage one another to go that next step. If you really want to start your own business, let's talk about a business plan. If you really want to overcome a physical ailment, let's talk about what you think we should do for that. When is the best timing? How do we know that it is a good time to talk to someone about it? This is really intuitive. And for the most part, the answer is now is the best time. Because there is no time in the future that we know is going to be a great time to overcome some sort of challenge or to pursue some kind of goal. Why not just start now? What do you have to lose? And then finally, how is to be direct. Just to be straightforward and ask that really hard question. Mary, how's it going?
Mary T.
Mary T. How's it going with that new business that you want to start?
I'm already doing it.
I didn't want the answer. the other is just be tactful. Be sensitive. That, you know, it's really hard. It's hard to set a goal And it's hard to say, you know what, I'm not living up to that goal. One of the greatest things that happened to me in the last few weeks is Greg walking up to me and saying, Barry, how can I help you get to that DTM goal that you have? Oh, right. It was May that I started thinking about that, and then someone got sick on my committee that I wanted to pull together, and I just forgot about it because I didn't want to bug him. Well, guess what? I told Greg, keep asking me that question. Keep asking me. And you can also be sneaky. It's okay. My ask is that you talk to someone today, ask what you can do, and plan to help, because you never know if you're going to be that light through the woods for your friend.